it's that time of year again. It's time to get the garden ready. And I'm actually about a month behind because it's been so wet I could not get the discs in the ground. And even back at the end of the year when I normally turn the garden and turn the plots, it was so wet I couldn't even do that. So I'm playing from behind a little bit, but it's okay, we're gonna catch it up. We're gonna get it disked today, then we'll come in after a few weeks and run the tiller through it, get the seed bed nice, get ready to bed it up and get the garden planted. So today on Cedar Valley Outdoors, we're prepping the garden plots. So that worked out pretty well. The soil was not too wet. It ended up disking just fine, turned under fine. So overall, I'd say that was a success. Again, we're trying to catch up from being behind because of how much rain we've had. But I think we did a good job. I don't think we're gonna have much trouble. So the next thing we'll do is we'll bring the tiller in probably about 2 or 3 weeks, and we'll till it up real good. Then we'll come in with some hippers. We've got some homemade hippers I made to make some beds. We'll bed up 2 rows of beds and then come in with a subsoiler, run it right down the middle, and we'll be ready to plant. So we're getting caught up. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to plant in this plot this year. I'm assuming we'll do tomatoes and peppers. I love peppers. I'm a chili head, so we'll definitely do a bunch of those. And other than that, zooks and squash, maybe. So we'll see. But we're going to take you along for the process. So we've moved over to the back side of the property now, and we're going to be disking some of our food plots. I have a couple experiments I'd like to try this year. I think I'm going to try to plant some sun hemp and see how well it grows and see if it is a good species for helping to build the soil. So we'll try that. So I'm going to go ahead and get in here and try to disc this up. The garden plot disked up pretty well. It was still a little wet, but it wasn't bad. So now we're gonna work on this area and do some disking here. This top food plot, usually I do brassicas in it, but last year I did wheat. Did put out a ton, literally several tons of lime last year on this plot to try to help the pH a little bit. So we shall see how it responds this year. All right, let's get to pulling the discs. Well, this is what we've got. So we just went through and we disc this plot in the middle of these 2 stands of wheat. So what we're going to do is have a little experiment where in this plot I'm going to plant sun hemp and let it grow up through the summer and then cut it in, and then we'll figure out what species we're going to plant for our fall food plot. But we're going to compare that to the wheat, and what we'll do with the wheat is we're going to use what they call the grazing buffalo method, and we'll take that wheat, we'll sow whatever seed we decide to plant for the fall, and then we'll go in and we'll crimp down all that wheat on top of it and probably spray it to kill it back to make a thatch bed. And we'll just compare what does better, either the sun hemp or the grazing buffalo method. So it should be a fun experiment, and we'll see which one does better. So stick with us. So we finished disking this plot. We've got a stand of wheat in this section, and then we also disked this large section, which was brown top millet that we'd planted for last fall. It was a nice stand of brown top, headed out well, had a lot of seed, and guess how many times we hunted it? 0. Ended up not having time to hunt it, which is ridiculous. We're gonna have to do better this year. But we're gonna go in, we'll decide what we're gonna plant. I'm gonna also do sun hemp in this section, I think, and give us a good trial on, see how well it grows in this soil, and also see how well it amends the soil and builds organic matter. So should be an interesting trial, and we're gonna take you along with us. Another great day here, beautiful. In the soil, actually, I was concerned that it was a little bit too moist, but it actually, it's not too bad. It didn't have any problem being disked. So that's good. Tell you, the clover did really well. There's a lot of clover mixed in with this food plot, and nice stand of clover. We'll walk up here and look at this other plot and check it out. It was a mix of wheat and rye, and it ended up having some clover come up in it too. It did pretty well. You can see the wheat's really vernalized and shooting up now. See the old corn feeder there at the end of the plot. It's very popular. We've got a solar battery on it. The solar battery does really well. I've had it in there well over a year and it's still running fine, so it's a good thing. Okay, well, we got some work done, so we'll catch up soon, and we'll get ready to run the tiller through here and get ready to prepare the seed bed and plant some sun hemp. Thanks for joining. See you in a few weeks on the Cedar Valley Outdoors.